Hey, what's up, everybody? Lou and Dan here. Dan and Lou, we're under the influence. We've already done 4 beer bongs each, but it's of ultra light, so we're not that buzzed. Just kidding. That's not what the show's about. Lou, tell them what the show's about.
It's been a great fun getting into our different drummer influences, right? We pick some of our favorite topics and that kind of go along with the theme or the month, and dive into some of our favorite drummers and drum parts and who are our influences.
That's right. And this is, of course, a love theme. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow as we're broadcasting live. Lucky Friday the 13th today, 2026, and episode 36. And Lou's going to kick it off with his first nod to an influence related to love.
Yeah. So always a blast putting these together. You know, it gives you excuses to pull out songs either we grew up with or were really inspired by, or just really struck a good chord or something, right? And diving into the drum parts. So first one going with today, James Diamond Phillips with the Ohio Players and Love Roller Coaster.
Yeah. 2 great drummers played with that band. We got James and then, of course, Floyd Sneed, who also played with Three Dog Night. Just a great band, and I give all the greatness credit to both those drummers, respectively. So here we go. This is a great song. Love this song. My wife loves this song, too. You know, it's such a great bass line around that disco beat. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so bottomy and everything. Great job on that. That was great. What a great pick.
And that whole rhythm section in that one is that's just groove for days.
Yeah. Yeah. And love is a roller coaster. Keep it on the rails, folks, and watch out for the loop-de-loop and the corkscrew. All right. My first one, I pull out 3 old videos. This one's the only one with decent audio. I'll get to the others after Lou's next one, and then I'll do one. Then Lou will do one, then I'll explain another one. But this is, I'm a big car enthusiast, as is Roger Taylor of Queen, and he also sings this one. Love his voice. He's got such an operatic voice, but when he sings lead, it's a totally different voice. It's this gravelly, it's really cool. I just dig this song. Here we go. I'm in love with my car. I just love the bridge to that song. So cool.
That's a great one. Nice job. I love that one.
Thanks. Fun song to play and listen to. And it's a love song, folks. We didn't say it had to be about people. It's about
songs.
Exactly.
So,
All right.
I got a question for you though. That when you were playing that one, were you also singing along?
I usually do. I either in my head or a lot of times I do sing out loud. Or I played this gig recently and I was reminded that when we took a break, my throat was a little rough and everything we played was instrumental, but I like grunt and moan and gravel to the music. Like it's weird. I don't know. And I've heard it come through on recordings before too, and it's kind of embarrassing. Or me humming in my head and I hear it come through the mic. I'm like, just be better if I sung it. Great song. Love that song. Cool. What do you got next? What's your next love song, Nod?
Next one's a fun one. I always just love these tracks for Paul McCartney and Wings, and Paul worked with so many great drummers over the years. So many of his drummers, everybody's, basically everybody that's come through his his way has performed this. But I always tend to typically go back to our original studio versions and kind of base it off of those. So Paul himself played the drums on Maybe I'm Amazed.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Probably one of my favorite, I don't want to make Denny Sywell mad, but one of my favorite songs off that album. Here we go. Very good. Did I brain fart? Is Denny the original drummer on that album? Which album was that?
That was I'm blanking on the title, but that was the one that Paul basically played everything on the whole album.
Oh, okay. Good. Then I'm not.
He played that plenty with him, obviously, throughout his time. But yeah, the original recordings on almost the entire album there were all Paul on just about it.
He also played all the Beatles. I'm just kidding. I don't want to make people mad. That's a whole other thing. Bernard Purdy will say, no, I played on the Wing stuff too. Okay. Next, you can barely hear the music to this one, folks, so turn it up. This is a fun, bouncy song. Another lead singer and composer who played just about everything. Well, no, he played piano, sung, and also played drums on this. And it's Stevie Wonder, and this is Thank You, Love. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. There you go. It sounds It's weird when you can't hear the music. I got to make better recordings. Well, now I can because I have my Zoom camera. Yeah, which I'm dialing in better. In fact, that gig I mentioned, I used it, and I've watched a little bit of it. It came out really well, so I got to just chop it up and I'll put it out there. And it's from like behind me to my left, so you see me and the back of the other guys until the bass player turns around once in a while. Fun psychedelia, jazz, acid, jazz, funk, 80% improvisation. It's a lot of fun. Cool. What's number 3 from Lou Caldarola?
But now, before we go on to that, too, did want to mention something with you on yours too.
Thank you. Yes.
That great, because Stevie's grooves were so cool, so great. Yeah. Always, and I was just having a conversation yesterday with one of my colleagues at work about folks like that. Like we just had Paul, who played on Maybe I'm Amazed, and Stevie, who played on Thank You. I always love when you get musicians who are primarily known for something else but can play the drums.
Prince, another one.
Yeah, and their approach to the drums, it always seems to me that when you listen to folks like that, they seem to come from a slightly different place than a lot of us straight up drummers, right? And I'm always intrigued by and love and enjoy the perspective that they put on some of the beats and how they'll approach things and go, oh man, I so wouldn't have done that. I love the way that sounds, and such an interesting, the brain working from a different spot when they have some of those other instruments coming in to where their drum direction is going.
Yeah, even if they were drummers first, but then became, and let's show everybody your manager there on your lap.
Yeah, Jem wanted to make sure everything was going well here, so she just we're having a smooth day here.
Cool. All right. Thanks for that. And your number 3 is
falling back on my long run with my buddies in Limelight, the Rush tribute. We're about to embark on year 24 into our 25th anniversary for next year, which we're looking forward to.
All the same players, the whole 24 years?
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. 4 friends. We all knew each other even before Limelight, and had either hung out or worked in bands and been friends. And it's just quite a cool milestone to have some buddies to do, to make music with for that long. It's quite an amazing thing to come to. So, using this one, we had a really nicely done pro shot video at the Mohegan Sun Arena not that long ago. I'm not Arena, Mohegan Sun Wolf Den not that long ago. And thanks to everybody there in-house for providing us with the audio and video. So this was a clip from Rush's love for, a particular plant as opposed to a person.
Since they're so famous for love songs. Okay, here we go. Awesome job. That was great. I noticed 2 things. One, the bass player is wearing one of Getty's shirts, blah, blah, blah. And I saw in the beginning you're playing open-handed, and I know you're a lefty that plays set up right,
Yeah.
right? Like Ray Luzier, and I rarely see you play open-handed like that.
It's funny, yeah. And now that's so interesting that you brought that up. Because the more I go in my teaching, the more my traditional right-handed style has taken over because I teach it to my students so often. But
Yeah.
if you go back, it's if we go back to earlier, because this Limelight video was from just a few months back. But if I was to say take a video of Limelight from 10 or 12 years ago, there's more open-handed. The younger I was, the more open-handed I was, and I could play traditional righty, but I typically still all my fills, and if you notice a lot of my crashing, and when I go to like the cowbells, I'm leading with my all the time. But when I do play beats, thank you to all of my wonderful students over the years, it's kind of made me transition into almost a right-handed drummer full-time.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, Billy Cobham plays open-handed most of the time, and he has a ride cymbal right over his hi-hat that he plays with his left hand, and you know, he switches back and forth, and he has an interesting setup. You know, I did 2 documentaries with him on his Art of the Rhythm section retreat, and so I got to, well, I was going to say do a lot of close-up stuff, but I got to play the kit as well, and it's interesting how it's set up. And he has, I don't know if you recall, but he's got like, there's one weird size that, going by traditional setup for a right-handed kit, small to big, there's one that's like looks out of place. And he said, someone asked him about that at one of those retreats, and he said, yeah, the late great Joe Hibbs, who was with a few different, you know, drum companies, Joe helped him set up the kit once and just set that drum up in the wrong spot. And Billy said, no, leave it like that. Let me try that. And he's kept it like that set up for years now. And has a small one between his 2 big floor toms, which are typically on stands, I think, if I remember right. Yeah, it's interesting. And I always find it weird when I see someone playing a 5-piece right setup kit, but they reverse the order of these 2 toms.
Yeah.
I know that you get a different sound and all that, but why not just hit them in a different order? I just think it's weird. I don't know.
I've also that's a good point. I'm seeing, it feels like I'm seeing more and more drummers adapting to that nowadays too. That seems to be something I'm noticing a lot more. And I've been curious if a lot of these drummers, is it for the same reasons, or does each person have their different perspective on I've been very curious about that.
Yeah, and what I do sometimes, and I encourage all drummers to do this, and to me it works. Well, I shouldn't say it's more effective or does more in a big kit, but for me, with my big kit, from time to time, I will just completely change 1 or 2 things. I'll put the splash that's usually over here away from the other splashes and put it over here, or I'll put a small tom like Billy's between the 2 floor toms, or I'll move that china somewhere else. And it makes you think differently, especially when you're so used to the pattern you're playing. Our patterns, our muscle memory is frameworked around how our drums are set up. So if you change that, automatically you might think differently and therefore play differently, and your phrasing might be different, or melodically it's different, or you know, I think it's fun to do sometimes.
I agree 100% with that. I do that all the time. I'm often rearranging my kit just ever so slightly, whether it's the cymbals or a tom placement, just to make me always have to think about the parts a little differently. Or if I'm going back and playing something that was on a different kit, making sure that I'm adapting to being able to do that in the moment. And, you know, not as a drummer, you know, all of us know there's going to be those moments where you maybe aren't playing on your own kit, or sitting in a moment where you don't have time to readjust things and just kind of got to go.
Exactly. Last thing on that note before my last song. We played a gig in Tucson about a month ago, and the guy whose band I play with from time to time, his name is Lob, and Lob texted me and said, hey, one of the guys of the other band, his name's Joshua, and he wants to know if you'd be interested in talking about all three bands sharing one kit, so it's a quicker changeover. And I thought to myself, they all want to play my kit probably, because why bother me with it, right? So I said, sure, give me his number. So I call him and he says, yeah, would you mind playing our drummer's kit? Before he finished asking, I said, no problem. I don't have to play anything, but like I just brought my snare and my little cymbal setup I wanted to use, like a China, a splash, my hi-hats, and a crash, I think is all I brought. Maybe another effect cymbal or something. And it was great just going all the way down there and not having to bring a kit. And I was like, yeah, no problem. And the guy let me do anything I wanted. He says, this is your kit right now. And we played first. So he said, just set it up how you want. And he had those, I forgot what they're called, the Yamaha super lightweight stands. You know which ones I mean? They're so feather. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been fumbling with all this other bullshit for 56 years, whatever it's been, because those things were great. So a little shout out to Yamaha for that. But it was fun. I never mind having to adapt to a different kit, especially for a gig like that, because like I said, most of the music is improvisational and it's fun. I did bring my own throne also. My ass won't adapt to much else but my throne. It took me long enough to get used to my throne when I got that after sitting on a round cushion for literally 48 years. And then about 9 years ago, I got the Ahead Spinal Glide, which is, I guess they call it the shovel shape or something like that. It took me a while to get used to that different shape because I'm short and often I'll stand up to like choke something, not because it can't reach it, it's just, and then if I sat back down, if the seat moved at all, it's all cockeyed and I'm like, I gotta fix it while I'm playing. If I stand up to play my timpani drums right here, I sit back down, it's all sideways. Took me forever to get used to that. So there you go, little drum gear geek out, folks. Now my last piece is Hearts by Yes, and I love this song. Turn it up, folks, because again, for some reason, this one recorded very softly. You can barely hear it, so turn it way up. The great late Alan White, amazing influence on me, great friend, huge influence, Alan, through the years. This is Hearts from 90125. Here we go. Turn it up, folks. There you go. I love that song. Might be my favorite song on the album. That and Cinema, the instrumental.
Yeah. I was thinking during that clip too. I'm like, I think I have to put that album on today. I haven't listened to that in a while.
Yeah, it's really good. But he's got the long drags with the left hand on the snare. He's got the drop beat syncopation going. It's got a little bit of everything that's part of his signature playing style.
Yeah.
And the brap, brap, brum, bum, just little nuances of his playing like that really shine through in that song. So there you go, folks. Love songs. And we have a special, man, I should have loaded the video in here. For the Love of Music, now through 11:59 p.m. Pacific time on February 16th. I believe it is. I hope that's right. Stephen will correct me if not. We've got a special for the premium level of our Drum Talk TV Brilliance membership site. Only $14 a day. Just kidding. Only $14 a month. Just kidding. only $14 every 3 months. Just kidding. $14 for a full year, less than a bucket of chicken. And you can get the premium level of Drum Talk TV, brilliant.com. Check it out. Use DTTVB14 at checkout, and it's all yours. We got some great stuff happening in there, and we're getting ready to add a whole new section for premium members. And if anyone who doesn't want all the other stuff that comes with it, they can just get this new thing for $5 a year when we first open it up for a couple months, and then it's only $5 a month. Getting ready to bust that out and ask for 100 people to help us beta test it. So watch for that. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and your mom. I mean, Facebook. There you go. Lou, where can they follow you and your band and your drumming?
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah. Basically for the Limelight tribute is Limelight, a tribute to Rush.com. And we're just getting ready to, next month, we'll be launching into our 2026 shows. So you'll find us all around here and there. And if you'd like us to come to your area, you could reach out to us. We like to travel. And I'm on most of the socials. You can find me, Lou Caldarola, on Facebook and Instagram.
Cool. Great. And if you're in, tell them where your School of Rock is in case they're in the area.
Yeah, the guys, my students that I work with, which I love. I've been there going into 19 years at the School of Rock in Bedford, New York.
Awesome. 19 years, did you say?
Almost.
That's crazy. Wow. Congratulations. Like, a lot of people can't, hold down a job, not because they necessarily get fired, but they get tired or they move on. They want something different after like 3 to 5 years, and you've been in this other band for 50 years, this job for 38 years. Pretty good run.
Yeah. Well, I like finding my comfort zones and kind of hanging there. So, with my buds in Limelight and working with kids and playing music. I mean, School of Rock's an amazing program. So
I'm sorry, in both situations, who deserves the medal? You for lasting so long, or them for putting up with you?
I'd like to say little column A, little column B.
Cool. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next month with more fun with Under the Influence, an original series here on Drum Talk TV. And we look forward to next month. What's the theme next month, Lou? Tell them.
Oh geez, you surprised me. Did we pick it already? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's Irish influenced music, I believe.
Okay, sounds good. I don't remember what we picked. I don't have it in front of me. Happy Valentine.
Into luck, and I'm claiming Lucky Man right now with Carl Palmer.
There you go.
There you go. Thanks everybody so much. We will see you soon.